bars feel like.
It's got a dope beat.
Oh man.
I feel like I want to start throwing bars right now.
Hey.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Come on, can you throw some bars?
I don't rap anymore.
You look like a rapper though.
I mean, it's part of the initiation of becoming a creative. It's
Yeah,
like
You have to look
He's,
like a
he's,
rapper.
he's got the swag of a rapper.
I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, special guest in the building
Let's go.
at the Master Bus,
Yes.
where we talk to creatives, celebrities,
Yeah.
dope guys.
Yeah.
Guys that do dope stuff that you might not know.
That create the stuff you see on TV and hear on the radio, but you don't know how it happens, how it comes together. Let's
go. So today we got a
Yeah.
special guest in the building, Mr. Kenny Mumba. And we've just ambushed him. He's a very, very busy guy.
Yeah.
But also cool and humble. And
But Kenny, I'm still not convinced that you can't rap, because even the way he talks is like,
it's like
you know what I'm saying, like.
if you do some research online, I won't tell you, but
Hey,
go to YouTube.
Let me go to
find
YouTube and
something.
search.
so Kenny, you forget that we go way back.
Way back.
I've seen you sing. I've seen you rap.
Yo,
And
that's too many receipts. Yeah, I was young, you know. I should
Young and
probably be
wild.
wearing a T-shirt that says I'm not a rapper.
So man, good to have you. Welcome
Yeah.
to the Master Bus.
I like the setup, by the way. It's dope.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
we've just switched things up a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We usually shoot this elsewhere, but
But you're
because
cool.
you know, we wanted to
Special
match
guest.
the swag.
Yeah.
So Kenny, for somebody that's watching, that's probably living under a rock, and they you know, they don't know who you are. Give us a brief background. You know, who is Kenny Mumba?
Okay, so as a creative, my path has been, so you start out with the being curious about how images on TV are made. You know, first you watch, you're interested, then you want to create. So I started out shooting on a little high 8 camera, like a 8. So that was the initiation. But the thing, I was trying to make a TV show, but I had no one to film me. So the idea is I wanted to be in front of the camera.
Wait, was it an actual job?
No, I just wanted to create content for myself.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the process of trying to create that content, I started filming myself. Then eventually I found friends who tried to film me, but they were not like professional filmmakers. I would actually tell them, like, place the camera right there. And then eventually I cut it up, and the first time I put it in an editing program, then I started learning. And then that being curious kind of formed into how do pictures come together? Why do certain things look the way they look? And then I was creating a music show, actually. That's why I ended up getting into music. But I got into music for the fun of it. It wasn't like something that
It was a passion?
I wanted to do. So that then eventually transitioned to, you know, you come from a background where it's different. You know, like I didn't go to film school where you pick a specific way of doing stuff.
Yeah.
So my background was shoot, edit, color grade, and put out the final output. So I learned the entire process of being the person who scouts for the location, shoots, and everything. So I learned the process but with time, when you question where you are as a creative, then you find a way to innovate and understand how global conversations are done, how global content is created, and then eventually started growing. And then the content we started creating with different people I was working with started getting noticed. And when that content started getting noticed, and then that's when, you know, when someone presents a check to you, that's when you're like, oh,
This can work.
So we can actually make money of this.
I can totally relate with that, because me growing up, I always sang in church, and people were like, "Oh, he can sing.
He's alright.
He's alright." But I never thought that I could do that for a living, until I earned my first check, and I was like, yeah, I think I can run with this.
Yes.
Yeah. But how far back was that? Is that what you measured in school? Like where?
No, I didn't major in it.
Probably studied something like.
I was like straight out of high school and just lost my mind. I'm like, I wanna shoot.
Oh my God.
So it became like an obsession first before it became about the money.
Yeah.
The money was just like, oh really? It's like the butter on the bread.
Yeah.
So the element of wanting to create pictures that are narratives that are powerful was really the passion. It was never about what you get out of it, what you gain out of it.
There's something very powerful you said. Benon, when you do something that convinces you, even for video, when you watch it, it's convincing even to yourself. You're like this. If someone ever watches this, they will believe the story. I think that's very, very powerful to be able to create something like that.
Yeah,
true. Yeah. I need to know. So, do you feel like you had an advantage? Because I've seen guys that go to school and do the stuff that we do, and whereas most of the dope guys that I know taught themselves and they just figured things out. Do you think it's better that way?
I think everyone is built differently, and there's some who go to film school and nail it. There's some who go to film school and you're like, ish, you should be an intern on what we're doing. I think it just is the passion behind it, is how far you want to go, how you want to push. So really your destiny is determined by what you want for yourself eventually.
Passion. Passion is everything. You can have $1 million to do the things that you want to do, and still can fail to beat the guy who is more passionate than you.
And I've seen people who start businesses and put in a lot of money, but because someone else told them that business is good, but they're not really passionate about whatever it is, so they'll be like, I'll put this amount of money, and then it just goes down to the ground. You know what I mean? So that's. But can you put a date to when you started?
I mean, I wasn't good with math in school, so
for your information, you're in a safe place because none of us is a university.
So
we're all dropouts.
So someone can correct it in the comments and say this is the date. I think like from 2004.
Okay.
Is when the passion was like strong.
That's a long time. That's 22.
You don't look old.
That's like 18 years, right?
Yeah. But you didn't give us the proper intro. Where you from?
Yeah. So I'm Zambian. I was born in Zambia. Now it's hard for people to say I'm only Zambian because I travel the continent. I've been
I was just about to say, you're picking up the South African accent. Hey, where's the man?
No, you only left with a click sound.
You're beginning to sound like you're from Joburg.
Joburg.
I think Joburg is like a second home in terms of I'm always there. Even the people who are close to me for a very long time didn't know where I come from. You get what I mean? So it's like sometimes I'll get a random call, say I'm in Zambia, and then a friend calls me. He's like, yo, what's up? You want to meet in Rosebank? I'm like, no, I'm home. I have to catch a flight.
But do you feel like SA right now is like the headquarters for anything creative production? Because I know you've been all over. You've shot in Nairobi, TZ. Nigeria,
Cameroon.
But where do you think? Where's the bread at?
That's a good question. I think it's dynamic though. So my experience is that South Africa has the infrastructure, has the skill set of technical people, and I think the advantage of a business that's functional from a structural perspective, and I think that's the advantage. And also they have a consumer market that actually watches this content
and pays.
Pays.
That's important.
Yeah. So if you look at streaming services, they lean towards most of those places. But at the same time, they're also open-minded enough to know that narratives can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
So the advantage the rest of Africa has, like Nigeria, is strong in fashion in terms of how authentic, strong in terms of how something looks as an African. So Africa has different textures, and I realize that it's very hard to say something is only Nigerian.
Yeah, the culture is really
and something is only Kenyan and something is only Ugandan. I noticed that just because of traveling, I noticed there's a lot of things that are similar.
Yeah.
It's just a blend of maybe there's something a little different there, something different there. So I think Africa has become like a cocktail that is kind of one in a sense.
Yeah.
Even when you watch content, it is relatable to anyone. If I watch something from Ghana, I'm like, oh, that's what happens across the road.
It's funny to all
I
of
stay.
us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why the jokes are the same.
Yeah.
Even like music, like Afro beats is relatable.
Yeah.
Like even when you play me that song in the car, I was like, I can relate to that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it was so funny that. Actually, what language do you guys speak in Zambia? Because a lot of it is very close to. I was playing for him some new Azawi, and and I was trying to explain what she's talking about. And it's like, no, but I had already got it.
I got
it.
Just I didn't even need.
So I've actually been to Zambia before. I lived in Zambia for like 3 months.
Okay.
I'll tell you this: if you try to eavesdrop on what people are saying and you can't really get it, you might think they're speaking Luganda.
Yeah.
I felt it sounds, that smoothness, it really sounds like. But also they told me that some of the words are actually the same. They mean the same thing.
Yes. It's like, when in South Africa, nyama is nyama. It's everywhere. In Tanzania, in
Are
Kenya.
both your parents Zambian?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my mother has like Zimbabwean heritage somewhere there, but everybody's Zambian.
Yeah. Tomato.
So there's that joke someone told me. A Nigerian and a Ghanaian were in the UK, and then the Nigerian was trying to order for a
jollof. Yeah, that's the one.
That was so funny.
Crazy.
Anyway, so what does Mumba mean? And where did Roc come from?
Yeah.
Yo, I won't lie to you. I don't know what Mumba means actually. Never actually even took time to find out.
But how did you adapt Roc, Kenny Roc Mumba?
Nah, it's like a AKA. When you're growing up and then you're hanging out with the cool kids and eventually
Kenny Roc.
Eventually you pull a name that you like.
Your company had a. Remember the first time I came to Zambia?
Yes.
Actually,
we should tell the story. How we met.
Yeah, it's so when I say we go way back,
way back.
So we had a job for Airtel, I think. Airtel. And Zambia was celebrating 50 years of independence, and I had gone to create a jingle for Airtel in another country that is celebrating 50 years in Zambia.
You're better than me.
Okay, you win. So, and that's when I first met Kenny.
At Mag 44?
Oh, and the I don't know if I told you, but at the time, when I told you, we need to record, we need a studio, and then you're like, we're going to a studio of my friend. These guys are dope, And this guy just says, we're going to Lauder House. And at the time, I was a big fan. I'm still a big fan of Lauder House. Like, what? We're going to... that could have thrown me off because I didn't want to get there and starstruck, you know, and I won't be able to do the work. But yeah, it was a dope project. So we didn't pretty much keep in touch, but you know, a few hi, and that was way back 2014. Then fast forward 2018 or 17.
18 somewhere.
When we worked with him for that Airtel 4G ad we shot in Moroto.
Yeah, like 12 hours away from Kampala.
Yeah, and by the way, that was a shocker to me because at the time, you guys were like, when I met you, you were like the Swangs of Zambia. You know, just doing ads and so when Julius told me, we're going to be working with a director from Zambia, Kenny, I'm like, Kenny's a director? You know, it confused me a little bit. You know, you came through and, you know, I looked at your notes. Dope. We shot the TVC and it was amazing. And yeah, we've kept in touch. He's like my other brother from
the other side.
Yeah.
Let me ask you: do you you can answer this question however comfortable you feel like?
Yes.
Do you have a family?
Yeah, I do have a family. I have 2 kids. So one is like 10 months. The other one is like 6.
How do they make you feel? The 10 months one, is it a girl?
I'm a girl dad.
Oh my god! Oh
Both
my
dads.
baby.
Both girls.
Yeah, both girls. I have a wife as well.
Yeah.
Married?
Yes.
How many years?
Um,
And there's a reason why I'm asking.
like I think we're heading to 3 now.
Oh,
Yeah.
fresh.
Yeah, fresh in the game.
Yeah. So I want to know: does your kind of work? How do you manage to balance? Because some of us are not doing well, especially him. The passion for the work is more
It's
than
a bit too high.
is a bit too high, and it somehow throws off the other
balance.
the relationships.
Yeah.
I see.
You know.
Actually, I've met a lot of creatives who are married, of course. Some struggling, some doing well. The thing is, balance is important as much as it's you know, they say it's easy to say it though. But the passion for what we do is like, when you get involved with someone who's a creative, there's a certain level of madness you have to deal with. You know?
Yeah. That's true. Late hours.
Because the thing is you could be sitting and thinking the person is thinking nothing. Maybe you're processing how you're gonna pull off a project. You're processing how you're gonna creatively, you know, do something. But the thing is, it becomes part of your life as much as you want to disconnect from being a creative.
Yeah.
So even if say you're on holiday, you're like, oof, the sunset looks dope, eh? You know, shoot a nice silhouette here.
Do you have a workstation at home?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
you don't want to bring work home.
Yeah, no. But the thing is, I'm always out. I'm always on the move. So it is difficult, but I think it's just talking through things that helps. Yeah.
Okay, and it's important for your partner to understand.
Yes. But I think as much as it's important for your partner to understand, it's important for you as well to understand where they're coming from. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're not really placed in your life to only drive your path where you're going. So I think that's where the balance comes in. Yeah.
Oh man, because I really
Benon has a lot of work to do in that area.
I struggle. Like, I'll give you an example. Back in the days when I was seeing this girl, like I would not get it. You know, dealing with client pressure and, you know, deadlines. And then all of a sudden, you know, as you're not texting me, as you
Why are you not replying my messages?
you have not called
Benon
me.
doesn't get that. Like that will be like, what?
Okay, now I understand that you have to be nice sometimes, but it's like the days just flow by, and before you know it, okay, you've not said hello, you've not responded to a text, you've not. It's hard.
And also, are they? And this is not a trick question. Are they part? I mean, obviously, are they part of the reason? Is it part of your drive when you wake up and say, "I'm going to work for these people"?
Yes, because the thing is, you don't do something to stay the same. You do something to be successful.
Yeah.
And the essence of what we do is, I mean, what's the difference between us and someone's making $100 million, So the ambitious is strong.
Yeah.
So it's you want to be on the level where you do big jobs and then you take a holiday for a year, So that is the goal. I mean, for me and I'm sure for you guys is we work hard to try and achieve freedom. Like that's the most important thing. So there is sacrifice that is involved to try and get to that stage. So I mean, I have an advantage of I work with my wife on a number of projects.
That's good.
I shot a feature film about a year ago. It's been in post production. Now it's done. And she was a producer on that, and she's a strong producer. Like in Africa, there's only a few producers, and I would say she's on the top. Not because she's my wife, because I've experienced and I've worked with different producers. You know what I mean? So there's that aspect. So I work with her, and I think that is amazing in terms of what it does. But at the same time is when you have little humans around you and that look in your eyes and look at you as the hero,
Yeah, I have my neighbor. One of my neighbors always tells me that every time he looks into his daughter's eyes, it gives him reason to wake up at 6 a.m. the next day. It's like that child. There's just something. When I look in their eyes, I'm like, they give me that fire to do that. That brings me to my next important question. Tell me some of those gigs that you've done, those notable gigs that you've done that you feel like, I don't want to say changed your life, but they were
life changing.
I've seen some online, but I want you to.
Yeah, so I mean, I won't remember everything, but some of the interesting work I've done is, I'll say, when I say I mean we, because I work with different people. So I remember we did a Vodafone campaign that was meant for a local market in Zambia. Then it did so well that the client picked it up, and then we ended up extending that to most of the continent, which was we were in Cameroon, we were in Ghana. And we were in Uganda here when Vodafone existed. Actually, that's the first time I came here, and then I showed upstairs there, which was a very strange thing when I came back to this building. So those were things that were also kind of life changing. They opened doors. Then some amazing stuff is when I got the call to do some Netflix content. So shot some commercials, and that's a brand I grew up knowing. From them being the DVD rental space to the biggest streaming platform. So for me, that was a labor of love, because it was something I was interested in, and the fact that I'm in love with narrative. It was cool to actually create content that was cool. And what was warming in one of the commercials that we shot is, we shot these kids from the hood in Nairobi, called the H-Town Kids. So I was able to work with the kids creatively to because what they do is they recreate trailers, they recreate music videos and stuff like that. So getting that opportunity to be able to work with young, 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds to recreate a trailer and see how their imagination works was actually mind blowing. It was for a trailer for the Queen's Gambit. yeah, so it was quite cool. Yeah.
Also, we're really hanging out with the big dogs out here, man.
Now let me tell you something about Kenny. Kenny is the kind of guy who randomly will drop a big name
and
in
be
a
like,
conversation.
yeah, be like, yeah,
you
Netflix,
know,
Vodafone.
I was at Jamie Foxx's house, and he told me, I'm like, oh, wait up,
but roll it back. You said
know,
who?
So tell me some of the big names that you know
that you hang out
that chill with you.
Some people don't like names being dropped because
no,
there's I'll give you an idea though, but I think I've ended up in rooms where I'm even in shock, like where someone is saying you know we that big blockbuster movie that's coming out, we worked on it. I remember actually when I was in LA once, and I'm at this party, and then I'm being introduced to different people, and they're like, they're telling stories on, you know, shooting on a Beyonce set. So it's I've gotten a chance to meet people who have global impact in the creative world. But at the end of the day, it's more an experience for me. It comes back to like, okay, what am I doing for myself as opposed to what other people are doing. But to see what other people are doing is encouraging enough to be like, there's nothing impossible. You know what I mean?
You know, when you meet those people, you realize how human they are. They are like, now the question becomes, what are they doing that I'm probably not doing to get to that level? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you breathe the same air. That's when it hits you like, you need to use this oxygen properly, eh?
And what's fascinating sometimes is probably they are doing or using the same tools that you're using. You know, just that, you know, sometimes.
It's a question of getting into their thought process or something to really understand how you know how they, and that's the other thing. So what goes into your thought process when you're creating?
Okay, so you know, like being able to travel, like say when I was in New York, LA, Atlanta, Las Vegas,
randomly.
So when you say South Africa, Nairobi, Lagos, Kampala,
let's go.
Is what you realize, there's something that is the same amongst people. People are attached to emotions. They react to emotions, even if they don't understand the language. And the emotions are the same, whether they feel sad, they feel happy, you know, they're curious about something, and they're dumbfounded. You realize that we have powerful tools, and that our talents are actually not a community type of talent; it's a global talent. When you guys have made music like for Azawi that's playing in the Philippines, you know what I mean? Like I can't relate how that even works, you know. Is it Fiji?
Fiji.
So just to kind of see that music, emotions connect people. So my approach is always when I'm doing a commercial, even the film we shot, is that there is human emotions that anybody has gone through, like a mother's love, not having a mother. Every angle is an emotion. And you know, whether you are in London, whether you are here in Kampala,
it's universal.
There's a sound, there's an emotion that is universal.
Yes.
I mean, if you see where Afrobeat is now, you know, it's a global sound. But most of the people don't even know what the lyrics are. You know? But they know what the emotion is.
Yes.
So my approach is I'm always trying to look at a human story. I always look at what people react to. So even like the different places I've gone to, my trip from the airport to the hotel, is, or like when I go down to the markets, is I'm looking at things. I'm like, yo, that happens in Lagos. That is what happens in Lusaka.
That's interesting.
That is the same in Soweto in South Africa. Or like in Zanzibar. So you kind of see things that are similar that make people the same.
Yeah.
And I think people, if you don't travel, you think that a lot of people are different.
Yeah.
But we're all the same. It's just our backdrops are different sometimes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
that's really
you're
powerful.
traveling. You believe that your traveling contributes a lot to your storytelling?
Process?
Yeah.
Yes. It does. And also human interaction. So I interact with a lot of people. I interact with crazy people. I interact with calm people. So I interact with people who are passionate in certain places and they see things in one way. But you realize that what connects everyone is the same, and I use that as a heartstring to create content.
Benon,
Human emotion is really powerful.
Tell the listeners and those who are watching what Kenny did. I don't know. You can use the right words for Azawi's.
Oh, okay. Thank you for bringing that up. So we shoot a lot of stuff with Kenny. Like we shot, I think was it last year but one when we were shooting the MTN Pulse. So
2 years ago, actually.
I think
time flies.
It's like 2 years ago.
So we were leaving a different location, heading to another location, to set up. And we were riding together. So, of course, Kenny knows our history, where we come from, how we manage artists and that kind of stuff. So he's like, what are you guys working on now? Any new artists? I'm like, there's this new girl that we are pushing. It's called Azawi. And by then, of course, the songs were not yet out.
Yeah.
But,
we had the demos.
A couple of demos on the phone.
Yeah.
I played for Kenny, a few of those songs, like, Kenny has the weirdest expression, can you guys come down to SA? And because I have a lot of connections in South Africa.
I think that speaks so much about his passion. Bro.
All you have to pay for is, just logistics. You don't have to pay me. We got to do the right visuals for these songs. This is the right sound. This girl is going to blow up. He could not stop talking about Azawi. Even when we were shooting,
was crazy.
Even when we were shooting, he would come and say, "So now, you know what we could do for Azawi?" And then he would go like, "Oh, look at me talking like as if I'm part of Azawi team." But
you are though.
So he is, and really thank you for that, because I believe, first of all, you confirmed what we believed, and pushed us to step it up, because a lot of times as young artists or managers that are trying to push an artist or a product, at times you're like, but is it worth the investment? Is it worth the and at the back of our heads we're like, we need to do really
you need someone who's thinking at that level.
And imagine we had shot some of the videos, like we had already shot Maya, but so Kenny was like,
let's take it down.
And really that set a tone for the
so
album.
Kenny directed
Maya and Fwa
videos.
Yeah, very, very
dope.
very.
Dope. Where did you get those girls in
So there's like casting agencies.
Casting agencies. Because some of the people saw them and like, I think I know that girl.
I think some people are like influencers, so they're famous in terms of
the girls are really famous.
Yeah. Can you say something to upcoming video? directors, music video directors, a man of your experience, say something that you would say to yourself how many years ago?
24. Because it's only 28.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I wish you knew. I mean, I would say the easiest thing is the fact that you have a tool in your hands. So we grew up in an era where we're shooting on tape, you know. So
no mistakes.
We didn't. YouTube didn't exist when I was making content. So YouTube exists because people make content. You know what I mean? So you have access to anything these days. In terms of, you can pick up a camera and not know how to use it and click how to use it online. You know, you just Google that. So young people today and just people in general today have more information than I had. And the thing is, you have to be on a constant journey to innovate. So I know what's happening in terms of technology.
Yeah, you're up to date.
Or like what is the new style of creating content, or even innovating styles of creating content. So for someone who's young out there, I would say, you know, be pushed to learn, like learn more. Be on a constant journey to understand how high-end content is created. But not only that, the biggest thing outside the high-end content is narratives. You find narratives are what go viral. You know, I mean, it's not about if something was shot nice and pretty and expensive. It's really about whether someone connects to it. You know, you see how we share memes. Just, you know, someone sends a meme and it's like a bad quality video, but that thing has got a million views. You know,
by yourself.
A million plus. So the biggest thing for any creative out there is, do people connect with your content? So if people connect with your content,
that's powerful.
then I mean, one person, two people, then eventually you have a community. From a community, you have a country. From a country, you have a continent. From a continent, you have the globe. So if you look at things like Squid Games, I mean, when I watch that content, I mean, they're not speaking English, you know, but the emotions of how the content is put together, it's universal. It's universal. So I think media and just content creation, or directors or musicians, is you hold the power to a universal language, and you use it wisely. Then you have the globe at your feet.
Yeah. So Kenny, I'm curious to know, because I've dealt with you, and my people have dealt with you, but it's always difficult to find available dates for you to fly in and do a small job here and there. First, I want to know, that is, if you're okay to talk about what are you working on,
I can
and not just here in Uganda, but you know, because I know your calendar is crazy. And also, like, what are those future big gigs that you know that you have lined up? And also, how can we be like you? And not just in terms of being a dope director, but you know, I'm sure right now, like, there are certain hookups that, you know, like, everything is aligned. You know, you have agents now. You know, we don't deal with you direct. I can only deal with you. I can only deal with you direct if I'm just saying hello, hi.
Setting you up.
But if it's a job, I have to call your agent. You know, the agent will want to know what's your budget.
Like how do people even reach you if they want you to give you?
It's not that deep though. I mean, there's just send an email. I mean, it's that simple.
To you?
So, I mean, we're on social media as well, so the world is changing. The interactions are different. So people are more accessible than they used to be. So, I mean, what you have to understand, as much as a lot of people maybe it might come across like there's a lot of achievements that I've done, but where I need to be, I am not even close to where I need to be, because I think there's a lot more that needs to be done, and I don't think I've even crossed over. What I'm working on is, of course, the feature film that I've told you about. But in the background of that is actually a couple of other similar projects that are in development. So that is the push. Is trying to create content that is more global, from feature films to series. Then now the world has opened up a bit more. I was pitching for works only in Africa. Now we're pitching for work in Europe, in Southern America as well. So when those happen and drop, we'll talk about it.
Hey, and I'm your guy. If you need an assistant, somebody to shout on set, yo, it's Roc. I'm your guy. I'm your guy. Kenny, I'm your guy. Take me with you.
What's your favorite thing to do in Uganda?
I love the food. I like, is it matoke? Matoke. Then I love filming here because of the textures.
The textures, the colors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's surprising. There are so many things we take for granted here, and when you have a chat with a foreign DOP or a director, it's like, yo, this is dope. Yo, take people to our ghettos, like, yo, this is, it's fascinating how the foreign eye, sees
it's different when you go to another place because you appreciate what they have and what you don't have.
Yeah. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Do you feel like Africa is where it's at right now? Because I have this feeling like there's a lot of attention from the big boys, and looks like we're going to be putting out a lot of stuff, a lot of African stories, a lot of. What do you feel about that?
I think Africa is where the next. I wouldn't say next. We're up. You're next. And the song is about to play. So like the other one just ended. The time is now. In terms of storytellers, in terms of music, in terms of the creative industry. I feel like the platform now is ours to take. I think it's just stepping up and doing it. And I think we've had content like the Lord of the Rings. We grew up with stuff like that, which is mind blowing. And I think those type of stories now we have our own African version stories that haven't been told. And I hear what's going on in the industry. That's the type of content now that is being created. So I would say it doesn't matter if it's a story from down the street. That story now is relevant for a global market.
Wow. Kenny, we gotta let you go,
bro. Thank you for hanging out.
Because I'm hungry, actually.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you so much.
The mighty Kenny Mumba in the building. It's Master Bus, and see you guys soon.
We're gonna invite you back when I think 2 years from now, and then you'll be on another level. So we'll be
that's the prayer.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You rushing my body, why you rushing my body? Every single time, baby, I better Papa Chi. You rushing my body, why you rushing my body? Every single time, baby, I better Papa Chi. Da da da.